Grid energy storage is a collection of methods used to store electrical energy on a large scale within an electrical power grid. Electrical energy is stored during times when production exceeds consumption, and returned to the grid when production falls below consumption. Benefits of storage and managing peak load. The stores are used, feeding power to the grid, at times when consumption that cannot be deferred or delayed exceeds production. In this way, electricity production need not be drastically scaled up and down to meet momentary consumption. Instead, transmission from the combination of generators plus storage facilities is maintained at a more constant level. An alternate and complementary approach to achieve the same effect as grid energy storage is to use a smart grid communication infrastructure to enable demand response. Both of these technologies shift energy usage and transmission of power on the grid from one time to another. Any electrical power grid must adapt energy production to energy consumption, both of which vary drastically over time. Any combination of energy storage and demand response has these advantages. Fuel-based power plants can be more efficiently and easily operated at constant production levels. Electricity generated by intermittent sources can be stored and used later, whereas it would otherwise have to be transmitted for sale elsewhere, or simply wasted. Peak generating or transmission capacity can be reduced by the total potential of all storage plus deferrable loads, saving expense of this capacity. More stable pricing. The cost of the storage and/or demand management is included in pricing, so there is less variance in power rates charged to customers, or, alternatively, less loss to the utility from expensive on-peak wholesale power rates when peak demand must be met by imported wholesale power. Emergency preparedness. Vital needs can be met reliably even with no transmission or generation going on, while non-essential needs are deferred. Energy derived from photovoltaic and wind sources inherently varies. The amount of electrical energy produced varies with time, day of the week, season, and random factors such as the weather. Thus, renewables present special challenges to electric utilities. While hooking up many wind sources can reduce the variability, solar is reliably not available at night except when stored in molten salt. Tidal power shifts with the moon, so is never reliably available on peak demand. How much this affects any given utility varies significantly. In a summer peak utility, more solar can generally be absorbed and matched to demand. In winter peak utilities, to a lesser degree, wind correlates to heating demand and can be used to meet that demand. Depending on these factors, beyond about 20 to 40% of total generation. Grid-connected intermittent energy sources such as photovoltaics and wind turbines tend to require investment in either grid energy storage or demand-side management, or both. In an electrical power grid without energy storage, energy sources that rely on energy stored within fuels must be scaled up and down to match the rise and fall of energy production from intermittent energy sources. While oil and gas plants can be scaled up when wind dies down quickly, coal and nuclear plants take considerable time to respond to load. Utilities with less gas or oil power generation are thus more reliant on demand management and grid storage. The French consulting firm Development figures this stationary storage market could be a $13.5 billion opportunity by 2023, compared with less than $1 billion in 2015. Demand-side management and grid storage. As of 2014, most demand-side management is small-scale and in pilot phase. A few large-scale projects in Europe link industrial food freezer load, which can safely vary in temperature by only a few degrees, to wind power. In North America, water heaters, deferred drying and dishwashing, and electric vehicle charging represent major opportunities for demand management. whether or not to consider more deeply frozen food or more heated water or a still dirty dish or wet clothing a form of energy storage is debatable. Electric vehicles can act as a mobile dispatch battery, portable grid storage, but this gives rise to concerns about its charging lifespan. A more conventional approach is to use unreliable vehicle batteries in large-scale grid storage, as they are expected to be good in this role for 10 years. If such storage is done on a large scale, it becomes much easier to guarantee replacement of a vehicle battery damaged by mobile dispatch, as the damaged battery has value and immediate use. A report released in December 2013 by the United States Department of Energy further describes the potential benefits of energy storage and demand-side technologies to the electric grid. Modernizing the electric system will help the nation meet the challenge of handling projected energy needs, including addressing climate change by integrating more energy from renewable sources and enhancing efficiency from non-renewable energy processes. Advances to the electric grid must maintain a robust and resilient electricity delivery system, and energy storage can play a significant role in meeting these challenges by improving the operating capabilities of the grid, lowering cost and ensuring higher reliability, as well as deferring and reducing infrastructure investments. Finally, energy storage can be instrumental for emergency preparedness because of its ability to provide backup power as well as grid stabilization services. The report was written by a core group of developers representing Office of Electricity Delivery and Energy Reliability, ARPA, Office of Science, Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy, Sandia National Laboratories, and Pacific Northwest National Laboratory, all of whom are engaged in the development of grid energy storage. As of March 2012, pumped storage hydroelectricity was the largest capacity form of grid energy storage available. The Electric Power Research Institute reported that PSH accounted for more than 99% of bulk storage capacity worldwide, around 127,000 megawatts. PSH energy efficiency varies in practice between 70% to 75%. This and other forms of storage are addressed in depth below.